match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
I can see my fantasy, I'm so consumed in bed. What I see takes over me, I'm blind beyond repair.
There's nothing better than what that
They
bottom line says.
So much. That'll probably fuck me. That spot sucked.
Was it? Do you hate the spot or do you hate the people that did the spot?
I hate the spot. I don't give a fuck who was involved. The guy who was supposed to get pinned after taking that spot looked like nothing happened to him.
No, I agree that. I'm saying in general, do you hate the flaming table spot? Because I think
not when it's done correctly.
So like Edge McFoley lead up to WrestleMania 23.
That's
like
probably my favorite one, honestly.
You know who else? I'm surprised we didn't get a flaming table spot, honestly. And I wish if they were going to use the spot, why couldn't I have gotten this in the MJF Darby lead up?
Because they said they were going to have a wrestling match, not a street fight.
Yeah.
But even then, I still don't believe a street fight of that kind of bullshit warranted a flaming table spot.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to On a Forklift Pod every Wednesday, except for last week because it was a holiday. Join us here after Dynamite. We just sit here and we shoot the shit about Dynamite and everything that happened this week in wrestling. My name is Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. And to my right is my handsome co-host of
Ethan Hubbard. You can find me.
It froze
me
at the perfect spot.
Oh my god, it did. Oh, that's fantastic.
Fuck me, that was good.
You couldn't have done that better if you tried. I'm Ethan Hubbard. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter, and once again, you can find us at On a Forklift Pod on Twitter as well, or every Wednesday live here on twitch.tv/PKBatman420 or live on channel Snickle Fritz on YouTube.
Shit. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're really just getting into it, we're going to give you a nice little rundown of what's happened, I guess, in the last week. Break into the larger headlines of the week, and which honestly hasn't been that much. We're really going on that, but we'll get to that. First, let's cover Dynamite for tonight. Opened with a pretty damn good match between two gentlemen, and Bryan Danielson and Alan Angels. I believe he won with, was it a knee bar or a heel hook on this one? I'm not.
Heel hook.
A heel hook. So yet again, Danielson wins by submission, which has been the MO. I like it. He doesn't. How does he have a pinfall victory?
Yeah, he got it over Minoru Suzuki with the running knee.
Yes. But once again, I like it. I like the run up. I'm starting to grow on it. At first, I wasn't set on this, but we'll talk about this later because this is one of the ones we do want to touch on. This is something that we want to touch on. So with that, we go to the next match, which was beautiful for one gentleman and just another day in the life for another one. We had CM Punk versus Lee Moriarty. CM Punk wins with the GTS. He had a nice little moment in there, and which the camera work on that was kind of shoddy because they were away. They were panned out on that one. I wish he would have been closer. That'd have been a great one. CM Punk wins on that one, and then post match MJF comes out, and we'll get into the whole CM Punk MJF thing in a bit. That's probably the biggest part of the show we're going to touch on because that's from last week into this week. We had that. Right after that, we had a nice little Britt Baker DMD part of talking about the Rio match that was on Rampage. Rio does, she has a title shot now. They had some frou-frou stuff about her not winning or not ever being eliminated from that match. So they're just going to get back on track. Britt Baker versus Rio next week. Shortly after that, we had Adam Cole hit the commentary desk, and Orange Cassidy snuck up to interfere with him. It was okay. It was just a segment, as another segment. I don't know how much I'm going to like this whole thing.
Anything to get Orange Cassidy away from Matt Hardy.
I mean, if that's the entire goal of it, that's fine. I just right now they kind of seem to be treading water, trying to build programs, seeing what sticks with the fan base. Right after that, we had Tony Nese cutting a promo on Sammy Guevara. Should be a pretty good match. Just nothing. It's not going to be a program or anything, but should be a good match. And then I'm going to let you take over from this point and talk about one of your absolute favorite things in the world, Wardlow squash matches.
Wardlow squashed this poor man with 4 power bombs.
That is hands down exactly what happened. AC, we're going to give the man his due. His name is AC Adams. I don't know this gentleman, but for fair shake purposes, he did get named on television. He did get noted. It was his AEW debut. And I'm assuming he's somebody from Cody Rhodes' school there in Atlanta. Otherwise, ouch. That was Wardlow is new Batista. That's the best thing I can say about that. Then we had, what?
Power bombs.
Yes, 4 power bombs.
My nips were hard for every one of them.
Shortly after that, we had Pac and Penta, or Pac and Penta. That's just another interview with 2/3 of Death Triangle. They're wanting to fight FTR. It's a continuation of the feud that's been going on for about 2 months now, and it's good. I mean, I want to see them fight for the AAA titles. I'm hoping to see highlights from that show, from Triple Mania or whatever it is, their big event.
I'm gonna watch I always watch the last 4 matches. Like I watched the women's match, I watched the tag match. I tend to watch the Battle Royal too. That tended to be a lot of fun. And then I watched the world title match, which this year it's a 6-man because Kenny had to vacate the belt.
Yep. Then after that, we've got Darby and Sting versus the Gun Club, which also, dude, the makeup, money. Oh,
we should have thought about that for Halloween when we did our shit.
We should have. But you know what? That's good. If you haven't got a chance, go check it out. Sting and Darby, their makeup is basically mushed together. They both they both had the same makeup on. It was very cool. It was a nice nod. Darby and Sting get the win via pinfall from a Scorpion Death Drop on Colton. I don't have a use for the Gun Club. I just don't. They're just enhancement talent to me at this point, which is really unfortunate because I actually think Austin's pretty damn good. If you can get him away from his dad, I think he'd be a fun one. He'd be pretty good in a tag team. I think if you wanted to break up Varsity Blondes and put him with Griff Garrison, it'd be a better match. Next, we've got there's a lot of talking on this show. There was a lot of talking on this show. It felt like. We've got Team Taz. Leo Rush comes out to confront him about Dante Martin, and Dante squares up. Ricky Starks goes to back him up. That's about it. Shortly after that, it is Mark Sterling and Jade Cargill. The usual Jade Cargill bit. This is my client. Blah blah blah. She's gonna win that damn title. She's gonna win, or she's gonna go to the finals in that tournament. In my opinion. So then in the TBS championship quarterfinals, we have Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho, 2 female competitors that we are both very high on, especially in their in-ring work. Very, very big. I'm going to let Clinton talk about this because these are 2 of his favorite female wrestlers.
What can I say? The 2 went out there and had a banger of a match. These are 2 women who don't miss when they have wrestling matches, regardless of who they're with, because they're 2 women who can carry. In this match, I really couldn't tell you who carried who. They probably just went out there and said, fuck it, let's have fun with it. However, the one harp I do have on any match is when they win with a surprise roll-up. I think it's overdone. But, okay. So Soho won with the surprise roll up. That way they can keep both of them looking strong. It was a really good back and forth action. The second best women's match on TV this week. We'll get to the first one in a little bit.
It was also probably the second best match on this card tonight, truthfully. Maybe third. I'm going to give it the second one. I think the Danielson Allen Angels match was the best one. Then this one. Then probably Punk and Moriarty.
If that finish in the main event would have been different, we would be having a totally different conversation right now.
Yep. Or if Wardlow would have powerbombed him 8 times instead of 4.
That's probably my favorite match of the week is Wardlow powerbombing that motherfucker 4 times.
He was just, dude, he comes out and he's got the straps going, and you're just like, this guy's dead.
Wardlow is so fucking sexy, my God.
He looks way more comfortable now too. And then we end up with the Atlanta street fight. And honestly, I understand they were in Atlanta. I don't want to fucking see Cody Rhodes anymore. I'm just we've had this discussion. We've talked about it at like en masse or at length. I don't want to see I don't want to see Cody Rhodes on TV anymore. I just don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't want to see Cody. I don't want to see Brandy. I don't want to see the Nightmare Factory. I just don't fucking care. Except like Lee, cool. Or the younger guys of it, fine, but I just don't fucking care anymore. I don't care. Nothing is bringing me into this. Nothing is holding my attention on this. Brandy pops out, lights a table on fire. They do a reverse DDT on it, and Andrade reverse suplex. Andrade doesn't take any brunt of it. Cody hits the table. Cody's on fire, and then he just goes over and gets the pin. Come on,
while he is on fire.
Yeah, while he's on fire. Like, you had 30 extra seconds. You needed to do something else with it. You needed to have something better happen.
Honestly, if they would have ditched that table spot and just did crossroads off the top rope, I'd be sitting here going, Cody Rhodes had a great match tonight. He did. The crowd was hot for him. It wasn't like last week when they were throwing his belt back into the ring and cheering when they were giving him a fucking heel stomping party. Cody, he's trying too hard now.
If the only place you can get over is your hometown, chances are you might want to look at your character work on that, because you're going to get cheered regardless of what happens. You can be a heel, go into your hometown, you're going to get cheered. If you don't, then your hometown fucking hates you.
Yeah.
Ryback.
Oh, fuck the Ryback. Oh. I liked Ryback for a while. Until he started opening his fucking mouth. That was cool. We were fucking I remember when we went to go meet Kevin, went to go watch Hell in a Cell at Bailey's, and it was the Ryback Punk one, and we were all going I kind of hope Ryback wins. It'd be nice. It'd be fun. When Punk was in his 434-day streak. Boy, was I dumb. Boy, was I stupid.
So, yeah. I guess, you want to talk about this? We want to just let's harken back.
Let's talk about yesterday.
Okay.
Because yesterday we have a pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. I forgot until they literally made mention of it yesterday, and I happened to be watching.
Pay-per-view on Sunday?
Yeah, War Games is Sunday.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant I'm sitting here going, is there something I'm missing? No, NXT. Okay. I thought there was a main roster one, and I was like, cool. Just like Survivor Series, I'm not watching that shit.
No, so I'm pretty pumped on the men's War Game match, honestly. I kind of dig the whole old school versus new school, especially this is going to be Johnny Gargano's last outing. I think that's going to set up for NXT 2.0 to win while taking Gargano off TV indefinitely and possibly forever. And then Kyle O'Reilly's contract is up around the same time, and he's in the tag title match. So,
yeah, so we're going to see this lovely little bit where Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly are going to be on Dynamite next week. So, actually, Winter's Coming is next week. If their contracts 2 weeks, okay, even better.
I'd love to see Gargano just come out and just go like, "Hey, Sammy, let's go."
No, I don't, dude.
All right, Ethan, help me out. I know I'm derailing us for a minute, but that's okay because we really don't have much to talk about. We can afford to derail the day. I'm on DoorDash right now.
Yeah.
What chocolate should I add to my cart?
What chocolate? Like, are at a
I'm
store?
at CVS delivery.
See, I'm a chocolate peanut butter guy, so I'm gonna tell you Reese's every time. But they got the Reese's Christmas trees.
I'm allergic to peanut butter, my guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think if you say Reese's, I'm gonna go Twix.
White fudge Oreos.
Yeah, I'll
White
fuck
fudge
with
Oreos.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's going in there.
White fudge Oreos are solid.
You can white fudge my Oreo. Wait, what?
Whoa. Yeah, so NXT's got a little bit going for it. I do hope to see NXT 2.0 win that the men's War Games match. It'll be a good hurrah. I mean, the guys that are in it, they're the ones that have carried the brand the last 4 years, I would say. I feel bad for Ciampa to an extent. I know the next War Games, or not War Games, the next NXT pay-per-view, he's probably going to end up losing the title.
He'll lose it before then.
To Braun.
He'll lose it on some fucking TV special.
Well, the next
because WWE doesn't believe in long-term storytelling.
Well, what's the next? No, you know what? They'll put that shit on day one. They'll find a way to put that match on day one.
Which would be smart. Like, you can put some NXT shit on day one. Like, that would be
what
pretty
you used
cool.
To do. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, showcase your other brand, like on a main card thing. Like, yeah, you're promoting this heavily on your main card. Throw one of the developmental matches in there. It's simple. It's like when you used to have the cruiserweight matches.
Oh,
booking wrestling is not hard.
No, us two idiots can do it, so why can't they?
No, but you know what I couldn't book? That MJF Punk promo last week.
Hell no.
I'll tell you this, because Ethan and I talked earlier in the day, last Wednesday. I was going to the Lions game the next day on Thanksgiving. Thank you, honey, for the tickets. I appreciate you. And the second I saw that promo, I was lying in bed, getting ready to head over to my girl's house. And I'm messaging him, and I was like, we messed up. We should have gone live tonight because everyone's going to be talking about this promo. And it's been a week. And everyone is still talking about that promo. So much so that they're taking shots on Monday Night Raw about it.
We don't have competition. No. They just gave us 18 minutes. They gave us a fucking network sitcom length of just absolute zingers. Like, this is shit that you would hear in an Xbox Live lobby. That they were saying to each other. This was brutal. This is two dudes in a lunchroom at high school who don't fucking like each other. That is just the things that were said are things that, like, you didn't think you were going to hear on TV. And everybody loves the Attitude Era. This is like very harken back to like things that would have been said, but formulated well enough that you can say them nowadays. And put together in such a manner that it didn't take 19 people in a run-in and this and that and everything else. It's literally just two dudes slam poetrying the shit out of each other.
It's pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just place an order for some shit.
I just, and I don't mind digs at certain things. So
let me talk about one dig I didn't like. I didn't like Liv Morgan with the line on Monday where she was just like, your fat contract is the reason my friends don't work here anymore. I don't like you referencing fired talent to further a storyline. It's a bad idea.
Right. And I'm sorry.
No, and I'm already uninterested in I was super pumped for Liv Morgan versus Becky. I'll get there again, but that little thing right there took me out of it. And they're supposed to wrestle next week.
I'm wondering who told her to say that. Because no offense, Liv doesn't have creative control over that character. So
Liv wouldn't have said that.
Who the fuck told her to say that? That's my problem. You got rid of you've cut absolute sweethearts from that company. Nixon Newell, Ruby Soho, these people who are locker room leaders, you've cut them from there. And now you have the fucking gall to go out there and use your budget cuts to make more money that you were already making hand over fist. You don't fucking deserve that. That talent doesn't deserve that. Frankie Monet doesn't deserve that. Fuck that. Taya Valkyrie doesn't deserve that. John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Lucha, anything. He doesn't deserve that.
Johnny Underground?
Yeah, Johnny. Who gives a shit? Johnny Wrestling Society X. Those people don't deserve that kind of flack. So those are the digs that aren't good. But when you call somebody a less successful Miz or whatever the fuck it was that he says, I like when other people are referenced. Other wrestlers can be referenced. This is somebody who had CM Punk has a history with Miz. Why would you not call on that? And guess what? His name's Mike the Miz Mizanin. He's been the Miz since before WWE, so you can say what you want.
The real world.
That's the dude's fucking nickname.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that. Tough Enough, the Real World Road Rules Challenge doesn't fucking matter. He is a bigger personality than just his wrestling character. So yeah, fuck it, use it.
No, it's the whole thing of people think that it's them just using shots to generate heat. Motherfucker, I hate my life. Okay. 1 second.
But they're not using shots just to generate heat. They're using references in people's background. So a lot of what you and I do.
They're using wrestling history as a format. That's why when MJF dropped the game line and the Cena line, it's because who was Punk's biggest rival in WWE? It was Cena. 100%.
And who was Punk's second biggest rival? Triple
H. That was the one that he was known for leaving the company for. So they use wrestling history. It's for people who don't understand this because you've been so diluted with the WWE product for so fucking long. There is a thing in the world. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. We just saw it with the Hangman thing. It's called long-term storytelling. It's called using the wrestler's past. That's why when they brought up the whole MJF and CM Punk thing where they actually met when MJF was a kid and MJF had CM Punk's poster on the wall, it's called using history to better a storyline, which is what they did flawlessly in this promo for 18 pissing minutes. God damn, it was beautiful.
Yeah, there's no... So the Fed, the E, whatever you want to call them, they practice revisionist history like no one else does. If you're gone from there, you're dead to them. You don't exist. Your wrestling career outside of there doesn't exist. For most people, for what it's worth, if you held an NWA title pre-Impact era, they'll mention it. If you held a New Japan title, an IWGP title, they generally tend to mention that you were an IWGP champion. I think that's just a level of respect with New Japan that they have. But they like to pretend that they've created your life. They've created everything that you have, and without them, you are nothing. And that's not the case. They treat us like we're idiots as fans. Like we don't know that things happened outside of this. And I get it, kayfabe. You're supposed to suspend your ability.
Yeah,
suspension of disbelief. I'm not a fucking idiot. I understand I have a hat on that looks like Joe Dirt's dad's hair. I'm not a fucking idiot. I look like Wilfred right now. I know that he had a history before he came there. I know he had a history before WWE. And guess what? AEW's referenced that with Ring of Honor. Punk has referenced that with Ring of Honor. His whole upbringing. But you know what else I know? I know that MJF was a fucking Punk fan. And to me, that's the coolest fucking thing possible. Because you're not taking somebody who, I got into wrestling because, I had a good physique. I had this. I had that. MJF is not a big dude. MJF is, by all means, he is not a super athletic guy. Yes, he is an athlete. I will say that wrestlers are athletes, but he is not by the way of athleticism. He's not Ricochet, Dante Martin, all these guys.
He's a storyteller in that ring.
He is. He's cut from the same, and I'm done saying that I don't like making the comparison. He's cut from the same fucking cloth as Roddy Piper. He's that same, I'm not a super big athlete guy, Mankind, or Mick Foley, Mankind, same kind of guy. I'm not a huge athlete, but I can tell a fucking story. I can get you to believe. I can make you feel what is going on in the match. And that's the most important thing to me in wrestling is when you have a guy who can convey the in-ring stuff, but also give you a story to believe in, give you a story to feel, give you something there. I love the athleticism and stuff. It's another reason we both love Hangman. Hangman's very good at the same thing. He's very good at giving you a story that you want to see, you want to hear, you want to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, I just wait for you. You kind of just stop randomly. So
You're good.
Yeah.
No, that's
no, that promo was perfect. Their little banter after Punk's match today was, not as good as last week's, but it's still a good step in the direction. I'm excited for these two. I think they're going to face off at Winter is Coming.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a betting man, I would say it's going to be Punk and Wardlow next week. So so big muscle tits versus Punk, which awesome. Because, Wardlow did that thing where he, powerbombed a guy 4 times in the middle of the ring.
We were even stuck on that.
I'm going to rewatch that a bunch. That was great. That 5 out of 5 segment for me on that. Honestly, though, the shit finish to Cody and Andrade really left like the bad taste in my mouth. So I'm at that low level of enjoyment on the show. Everything else on the show was really enjoyable, but my God, when you end on that note, it sucks.
Yeah, it's difficult to bring yourself out of that. It's like when we go golfing, and I've told you this before. You make sure your last shot counts because that's what's going to make you want to come back. So you
fucking stroke out 7 times on the 17th hole.
That's why you have an 18th hole to get it right on.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was done.
I know. So, but that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, the scenarios like that, obviously I'm going to come back next week. There's people I want to watch. There's people I want to see. There's things like that. But if I was to go, let me flip on Raw, I'm not fucking flipping on Raw next week. I'm going to tell you right now, I won't watch that product until the Rumble.
Yeah. I'm
going to catch updates so we can talk about it on here. If anybody wants to talk about it, I'm more than happy to talk about it. But to this point, I basically and this isn't even like a current product thing. I have basically shut my mind off since they got rid of doing Elimination Chamber, the first pay-per-view of the year, which I used to fucking love, or New Year's Revolution, which was where they did the first Elimination Chamber at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
no, they did the first one in New York, I think. Or are you talking about the pay-per-view?
The pay-per-view.
Oh.
I think it was New Year's Revolution was the first time they did the Elimination Chamber. But,
no, it was Survivor Series.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Survivor Series. It was the HBK comeback match.
Oh, so was that the first comeback, 2002?
2002. Yeah, it was Survivor Series 2002. Booker T, Kane, RVD, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Triple H.
God, what a fucking lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That was when Shawn Michaels won. I do believe that was in New York. I think that was at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I have a lot of useless information in this fucking brain, man.
Okay, no, you know why I remember it so much is because the 3 main events for the New Year's Revolution were 1, Triple H versus Batista versus Randy Orton versus Jericho versus Chris Benoit versus Edge in an Elimination Chamber match, and Shawn was the special guest for the World Heavyweight. The second New Year's Revolution was Edge versus Cena and that was Edge's Money in the Bank cash in. And then the third one was Cena versus Umaga. That had 3 fucking... I don't know if you could find a pay-per-view that only had 3 pay-per-views and had 3 fucking slapping matches for the main event.
Mm-hmm.
That shit did not miss on that.
New Year's Revolution was a really good pay-per-view when it was around. That one where Cena won, where he beat fucking, what was it, Carlito and Chris Masters, and then right afterwards Edge cashed in on him. Oh, fuck. Good times with that.
Yep.
There really isn't much to talk about when it comes to Dynamite tonight. It really felt like a throwaway show.
It did. It's actually, honestly, it felt like so much of a throwaway show that we played Halo Infinite through half the show and watched watch the fucking show on our phones. Because just Halo Infinite's the best shooter to come out since Halo 3.
Oh god, me and Kevin were playing that for like 3 hours before your ass got online.
And I'm gonna get off of here and go get back online.
Probably me too. I just ordered a bunch of junk food, so I'm probably gonna do that too.
So our like we've talked before, speaking to the audience, because you and I can talk about amongst ourselves about this shit all day long. Speaking to our audience, we're gamers. Clinton's much deeper into. I have a very wide array. I have a very wide taste in games that I play. I play a lot of stuff. A lot of little indie shit like that. Clinton likes to punish himself by playing the Souls and Souls-like games and things like Shovel Knight and shit like that, or Hollow Knight, sorry. And just absolutely fucking hate himself. But there's a game coming out that I think that both of us are very, very, very excited for. And no, I'm not talking about Vanguard. Fuck Call of Duty. I'm not talking about Halo, the campaign of it, which I think we're both excited for, but not nearly as excited for this. There's a game that's going to hit Game Pass Ultimate next month. And I want everybody to get out their fucking crispiest New Balance 468s, because we are going to delve deep into Lawn Mowing Simulator.
Hell yeah, I am.
I was trying to explain it to the wife earlier, and she goes, "You're gonna mow the lawn on a video game?" And
yes.
I was like, "Yeah," and she then called me an idiot and walked away, which is fair. That's I'm not gonna say no to that. But yeah, it's a great week for gaming. It's mostly because wrestling is kind of slow. So because we still have our list. Don't worry, we still have our list, and it's a fun one. It's actually a fun one. And honestly, I want to both give our top fives, because we didn't really talk about this. We didn't delve into it. These are not the top by any means for this. I will get back to this.
These are our 5 favorites.
Our 5 favorites. These are people that if you like wrestling and you want to follow somebody on Twitter.
These aren't wrestlers.
They can. Well, I think they can be. I don't necessarily, because there's a couple of them that are wrestlers that I think I have a blast watching them. It's regardless of their in-ring work. I love their work on Twitter. But there's a couple that aren't wrestlers as well. So, without further ado, if you would like me to, I will start first, because I believe you started first last week. Who knows? 2 weeks ago, who gives a shit?
It was wrestling video games. Yeah, I started that shit.
It was wrestling video games.
Yeah.
So my number 5 follow on here is going to be for all of your wrestling news, entertainment, things like that. And I'm pretty sure this is on your list, SRS Sean Ross Sapp. Not only does he interact with his followers, but he is also, he gives you great news, great updates. He's very forthcoming with the information. Now, Fightful does have some stuff behind a paywall, but he has said time and time again that he will never give you breaking news behind a paywall, and he's one of the few people that I believe on that. If you want more detailed information or you want special interest things, he does interviews with people. It will be behind a paywall. I'm fine with that. Get your money, boy.
Yeah, I genuinely love SRS. I watched Quizlemania with the Wrestle Talk boys. Spoiler alert, a few of them are going to be on this list, because I went with non-wrestlers. I went with like wrestling personalities on Twitter. But yeah, SRS is definitely my top 5. I'll talk about him more on my end once we get to him, because I'm tired of this whole we cancel each other out and shit.
Yeah, no, we're not. This isn't taking anything away from either one of them. That's why we didn't talk about it.
No. My number 5 is my favorite female personality in wrestling Twitter, and that's Denise Salcedo, working very closely with SRS, who is phenomenal. Again, Denise is very bubbly. She's very positive. She's very entertaining. Hollywood Salcedo is one of my favorite personalities on Twitter. And honestly, there's just something great about a nice, bubbly, wholesome look at wrestling. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, right now, I'm set in my Cody way right now of fuck that match. That match sucked because of the ending. But I know on my drive to work tomorrow, when I'm listening to her and Luke Owen and the Wrestle Talk boys all talk about it, I'm probably going to have my mind changed by them, as long as Pete's not involved. Pete's very negative. He's the negative one. He's the me. I can't listen to me talk. I don't know how the fucking people watching this shit want to listen to me talk, but my number 5 is Denise Salcedo. Go ahead with your number 4.
So my number 4 is going to be a female as well. It's somebody who likes to call them out. Now, she does some in-ring work, but she is also, for the most part, just a backstage person. Formerly, currently, until the end of the year of Ring of Honor, it is Quinn McKay. Quinn does something on Twitter that's absolutely beautiful, though. She is known for calling dudes out that send her dick pics and finding their family. And it's one of my absolute favorite things to watch because there's a lot of other wrestlers get involved in this. 2 of them that get very involved in this and help her out are Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham, who are a couple, and those 2 together are absolutely fantastic.
Jordan Grace is phenomenal.
Yeah, those 2 are hilarious.
She has a book. She has a book out if anyone wants to read it, like the DMs of a female wrestler. It is phenomenal.
So Quinn just calls him out, and then she gets backed up by everybody in the industry. Also, she is, and I don't use this terminology towards females, but she's built like a brick shit house. Quinn is rock fucking solid, and she is hilarious, and I love bow ties. So she wears bow ties and suspenders, which is going to be ironic for my next person that I'm going to talk about. But my number 4 is Quinn McKay.
Okay, my number 4. Here's why. I love Simon Miller. Simon Miller from What Culture is so much fun to watch. He is so goofy and just does not give a single fuck what anyone thinks about him. He's here to have a good time and entertain all of his fans. And I genuinely look forward to every single fucking, because that's how I get caught up on Raw and SmackDown. I watch Wrestle Talk. I watch What Culture. And I always watch Ups and Downs with Simon Miller because he's fucking hilarious when he does them. So yeah, Simon Miller. Why? That's why.
Oh, man. So, Simon's actually an honorable mention on my list. I was going to put him or Johnny Sins on there because they.
So anyways, that was Ethan, everybody. I'm tired.
Simon as an honorable mention. Simon's on there, but there is somebody who I wanted to mention. He's no longer on Twitter. It's Adam Pichiti. He tries to sell stuff in his local fucking Facebook groups. It's a lot of his Twitter is not even about wrestling. It's great when he was on there, but Twitter's such a fucking toxic place that he pieced out this week. So my number 3, though, however, is a wrestler. But he's not really known for you're never going to see him wrestle on television. Let's just put it that way. RJ City. RJ City makes coffee in his underwear as a Saturday or Sunday morning like talk show that he does with other wrestlers, wrestling personalities. David Arquette, literally anybody. He'll put fucking anybody on that show. Basically, they show up, they make coffee in their underwear with RJ, and they ask questions. And this is where if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, the episodes between himself and Danhausen are some of the funniest fucking television or videos you've ever seen. It reminds me of old school YouTube, like in the realm of just 2 dudes with a live camera just doing whatever the fuck they want. But he's actually a very good interviewer. And he used to do some pre-show work for pay-per-views for WWE. He was like a pre-show insider for that stuff as well. But he is a harken back to like a Milton Berle, Gene Rayburn, old school game show host kind of guy. So RJ City, that's my number 3 on this list.
I've also got a lot of respect for RJ City for all of his work with David Arquette, helping him get back on the limelight and him getting respected as a wrestler. RJ City deserves a lot of credit for that. My number 3 was one of your honorable mentions, actually. It's Adam Pichiti. Yeah, he did peace out this week, but up until he peaced out, he was the funniest human being on Twitter there ever was. He would call out people for being hateful and spiteful or racist or sexist or anything like that. He'd call them out with the utmost humor. There was one time they were doing some sort of shit on a morning talk show that he didn't agree with, and he got a video on there of him bare-assed, and it just showed his bare-ass butt cheeks on the news in the mirror. And that was the funniest shit I ever seen in my life. I love Adam Pichiti a lot. I hope that he gets better because Twitter is much more fun with him on there. And at the end of the day, it's all about getting healthy. And if he needs to take a break from that, he absolutely should. Get well, Adam Pichiti. Can't wait to see you back.
Yeah. So my number 2 is a wrestler. It's somebody I've mentioned already on this. I just fucking love Danhausen. I just fucking love Danhausen. It's actually, truthfully, it would be the core conglomerate of like this. They used to have a name, and I don't remember what it was, but there was this group of like up and coming guys that would all wrestle in GCW and shit like that. But it was Alley Cat, Effie, MV, and then Danhausen and Warhorse, and Dan the Dad a little bit. But I just love them. But Danhausen's my favorite out of the group. He's so campy, he's so goofball. It's because he's local, but he is just the dude lives in the character. Donovan lives in that fucking character. So he used to wrestle as Donovan Danhausen. We trained at the same school. I don't actually personally know him, but he seems like a great guy. And for some reason, his dad follows me on Twitter. So, hey, Dadhausen, you ever want to get your kid on my show, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to talk to the Hausen. We would have Jensenhausen and Batmanhausen over here. So yeah, my number 2 is Danhausen. I think our number 1s are going to be the same people, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just let's see who your number 2 is.
That your number 1 as well?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. My number 2 is SRS. For all the reasons you said before. His appearances on Quizlemania are always a consistent highlight of the appearances of the shows. They make him more fun. He is a wonderful human being. He fosters cats, and he talks all about them on Twitter. He also calls out people, and he also does a lot of reporting. He's pretty much the breaking news on wrestling Twitter of everything. He's the one who has reported all the releases. Sorry, I'm waiting for my water to get delivered. And yeah, SRS, my number 2. I highly recommend following him for more than just his humor. He's a really, really good news reporter for wrestling. And number one.
Steve here. It's Steve here. MF Steve here. Steve of Steve and Larson. So Larson's not super active on Twitter. Going in Raw is being podcasters. Going in Raw is one of our inspirations from it. We've watched these guys since the Machinima days. I feel like they're like my uncles that got into stuff, like, because I think they're only like 10, 12 years older than us, but like,
yeah,
they feel like our cool uncles, you know? Larson's not a super like out there guy. He will talk to people. He's got a lesser following, but Steve is an absolute sweetheart. His artwork and stuff is fantastic. And one of the biggest things that I love is if you get to watch the show or anything like that, is that they promote other people on their show big time. And that continues with his work on Twitter. He also is very up to date on like reactions to shows, things like that, reactions to matches. But also he just talks about goofy random shit that happens in his neighborhood. So that's just, it's because we have a history with him. I've been watching the dude for 10 fucking years, but MF Steve here.
My number 1 is kind of a cheat, but I can't pick just one of them. It's the Wrestle Talk boys. It's Adam Blampier, Ollie Davis, Luke Owen, Pete Quinnell, Lori Blake, and Tempest. Those 6 dudes, those lads. Oh, and I can't forget Randy Andy Datson. He is, all of them have brought so much joy to my life. I discovered them during the pandemic.
Except Pete.
I still love Pete too. Pete's a great character.
I hope at some point, the only thing I can hope is Pete looks at this and goes, fucking cunt.
Like Luke Luke is the only person I knew who was as excited about the Limp Bizkit album as me.
Which slaps.
It really does.
Go fucking listen to it. We are like, so between us, Luke Owens, and the boys from Tiger Driver, Jake and Chris, like we're leading the charge on Limp Bizkit staying alive. I feel like that is our goal in life. We need to form a coalition.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out a way to do this. I'm gonna figure it out. We're all gonna get together. We're all gonna get Fred Durst on something. It has to happen.
Yeah, fuck, I can't get my fucking cam to stop again. Let me try
Yeah,
this.
well, you know what? We're right near the end of the show. I look like a water buffalo. Clinton's just like Bigfoot. He's kind of blurry all the time. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, go follow those guys on Twitter. Or ladies, follow those personalities on Twitter. Most of them will make your day better. If you need a laugh, if you need a good cry, if you just want some news, do you want some information? Denise and SRS are great for information. Adam's really good for information with a slight twist on it as well.
Yeah.
And I just Simon is Simon. He's yeah, that's a good watch, especially his YouTube stuff. He's the whole reason that I still watch What Culture. It's not a knock on anybody else, but like him and Adam Cleary are it. So that's where we're at. I just want to say thank you for sticking around. Thank you for that. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. The next couple of weeks are probably also going to be short shows like this because of the holiday season, and then we'll start to ramp back up after the new year. So for this day, I'm Ethan Hubbard. You can find me at Collins3 on Twitter, and this is Clinton Davis.
PK Batman on Twitter. We're on a Forklift Pod, and as always, we love you,
Judy.
And we'll see you next week, guys. Take care.